Awesome. I think we're good to start. Welcome all again. Thank you for taking the time to join us today as we close out the year and spotlight the features, improvements, and compliance priorities that'll set you up for a strong start next year. My name is Ash, and I'm the product enablement designer here at Wisenet. I'll be kicking off the session by walking you through the key improvements and new features that we've delivered this year and how these enhancements are designed to reduce operational friction, strengthen governance, and improve your learner and admin experience. I'm then joined by Michelle, a customer success specialist and in-house compliance expert, who'll deep dive into end-of-year reporting requirements and critical compliance updates. Michelle works hands-on with training organizations every day, helping them translate regulatory requirements into practical, sustainable, operational processes. And by the end of the session, you'll have a clear view of what's changed, what's required, and how to confidently complete your end-of-the-year reporting. All right, a few quick housekeeping items before we begin. This webinar is being recorded and will be made available to all registered participants later this week. For your reference, we don't need that there. I've included key resource links on the main slides, which you can click and access for more information. We welcome your questions and feedback. You can submit your questions at any time via the Q&A or chat function. I'll address them at the end of the presentation. And alternatively, if you would prefer to ask your question live, simply raise your hand and I'll unmute your microphone at the appropriate time. All right, this year has been about, performance, scalability, and operational maturity. We've delivered strategic enhancements across our e-learning connectors, filtering and bulk action capabilities, finance workflows, credentials, and automated grading, all designed to reduce manual overhead and strengthen data integrity. And on the feature front, we've expanded capability to support stronger course and qualification management, introduced support cases, unlocked more intelligent automation to ensure Wisenet remains future ready, compliant, and highly extensible. The focus has been simple, it's more control, more visibility, and less friction. We've also strengthened how we communicate change. This year we redesigned the What's New page and introduced developer updates to ensure you have clear visibility of what has changed and when. We'll continue to strengthen how we communicate changes throughout the new year with clearer, more consistent updates, as you always know what's evolving and why. You'll start seeing this come through in every release moving forward. And in the second part of the webinar, Michelle will walk you through the critical end-of-year compliance and data readiness priorities, including any key reporting dates, course and learner audits, enrollment and outcome code updates, and data integrity checks and exports. One of the most impactful features we delivered this year was the support cases designed to streamline issue management, improve turnaround times, and give you greater visibility and control over how learner and operational requests are handled. Now, support cases is a learner-facing ticketing system built right into Wisenet. This allows learners to submit a support case from within the learner app. It's flexible enough to handle all types of queries from course extensions, complaints, leave requests to pastoral care or well-being concerns. Staff can track, escalate, and resolve cases from within the Wisenet LRM. Now, with AI capability, your team can train the system using your organization's specific learner case types, whether they are academic queries or well-being concerns. You can use AI to suggest clear, context-appropriate responses with just one click, helping staff save time while maintaining a high level of professionalism and consistency in their replies to your learners. The support cases was released last month and is part of your subscription, and the AI capabilities are only available to our premium edition customers. Now, it isn't just a generic, help desk tool. It's purpose-built for PTEs or TEOs like you. You can set up teams by department, define escalation workflows, categorize case types, and store sensitive notes securely. Learners can create and submit support cases from the main profile tab in the top right corner. They can click on, support. The support page also will have the history of all their cases, and they can reply from within the app itself. From the admin side within LRM, you can see the cases settings tab. You'll have the categories with the option to create case categories as well based on the type of cases you receive from your learners. For example, you can create categories like fee payment, course progress, leave, sensitive care, and so on. You can set the default priority assigned to staff or team and whether it is restricted. Cases that are categorized as restricted can only be accessed by the specific staff or team. There's also an option to subscribe to the case if you require access to the restricted case, which can be updated from within the case itself. Next, there are about 5 different email templates that are available to be customized for notification purposes to notify the learner, staff, and other subscribed team members when a case is submitted or updated within the system. As you can see, the first tab is the general settings, which will have one option for now with a dedicated support email address. If you're not ready to roll out the Learner app, you can share this email with learners. When they send a message, it automatically creates a case in Wisenet. Now, this isn't as seamless as the in-app experience. However, it provides an alternative for organizations not yet using the Learner app. Before I go into creating the case, I'm going to talk about teams. We've introduced a new tab within the staff section to create teams. You can create any number of teams and add staff members to the teams. The staff members should have a profile in staff for you to be able to assign them to the teams. And the same staff can be in multiple teams. And this is required if you want to assign cases to teams rather than an individual staff member. You can assign the case to a staff as well as a team. It's completely up to you and it's flexible. When a case is submitted either through the Learner app or via an email, you'll see it on this case's main page. If you receive a phone call or a face-to-face request, you can still manually create a case by clicking on the Create New Case option at the top right corner. You can choose the relevant learner, add further details if the query is related to their course or unit enrollment. You can pick a category, assign the right staff or team, choose whether it needs to be restricted, and if it is, then are there any subscribers who need to have access to this case. The subscriber usually is someone that is not the assigned staff or part of the assigned team. And then you can choose the priority, whether low, medium, high, or critical, add a subject, initial internal note, any files that you want to attach and save. As soon as you pick a default category, most of these options, would default to the values that you've already set up when you created the category. You can update the case details as required even after creating the case. You can escalate it to another team or staff member by reassigning the case. You can also reply to the learner or add an internal note before sending to another team member. Now, by default, the case status is set to open. You have the option to set the case to solved, merge into another case if the learner has submitted similar cases, as well as archive the case once closed. And if you're using the AI option, each time you work on a case, you can click the Train AI option at the top. This allows the AI to capture the nature of the issue and how is it being handled. It kind of stores the structure and resolution approach, not any personal data or case-sensitive data. Over time, it builds a rich memory of resolution strategies for different case types. And over time, this helps your team use the generate AI response, and the system helps in providing you with more intelligent responses when you generate the AI response. Now, at the moment, when you use generate AI response, it'll give you a very generic draft response based on the scenario, but it may not follow your internal processes because you're just starting to use it. But you can customize the response and add in the relevant details before sending it to the learner. You can click on train AI at any point in the process to capture the approach for future use. And I'm sure this will certainly, cut down on time spent drafting those professional responses by your staff. Right, to activate AI capabilities within Wisenet cases, you must connect your Wisenet account to your OpenAI API key. Now, this integration allows your account to securely access AI-powered features while maintaining control over data privacy and compliance. Lastly, when you're ready to implement the cases in the learner app settings, toggle the showcases option on so the learners can log tickets from within their learner app. Alternatively, as I mentioned earlier, even though not the best approach, you can share the support email address with the learners to send a request via the email. With that, I would like to introduce Wisenet's newest feature, automation. Now, this is an early access feature, and only a few of our premium edition customers have access to this at the moment. So, what makes automation powerful isn't just that it saves time, but it actually adapts. If you're using learn cycles, then you know that traditionally the workflows run on rigid rules. But in the real world, things aren't that simple. Learners have different statuses, the outcomes change, activities vary, and your system needs to think like the way you do. So that's where these new capabilities come in. Multiple values, field updates, and custom conditions mean your automations respond dynamically to real data. You can trigger workflows from any learner activity, combine complex scenarios with OR logic, and use your own custom fields to make automations uniquely yours. A tremendous amount of thought has gone into designing this feature, from identifying the first trigger entities to support to defining conditions and activity types that truly align with day-to-day operations. So you start by entering your trigger details, choosing both the trigger entity and the trigger type. So a trigger is the event that starts your automation. Trigger ensures your workflows launch at exactly the right moment. So the trigger entity is kind of the automation is based on, and core software level. And then you have your trigger types, the kind of change that fires the automation. So as soon as an entity is created, so when a record is added or when an entity is updated, which means when an existing record changes. And each automation has one trigger, but you can attach multiple conditions and actions to make your workflows powerful and comprehensive. Now, for example, in this automation, I've set it up to update the course enrollment status based on unit completion. So I've selected the trigger entity as unit enrollment and the trigger type as when updated. Next, you define the trigger conditions. Not every trigger obviously should fire immediately, So conditions let you configure when an automation runs, ensuring only the right workflows execute under the right circumstances. So in this case, we only want the status to change when the unit outcome is completed. And I've added an additional condition, so it also waits for the unit status to be completed. So it looks at competent as well as completed. So that means the automation will only run when both the conditions are met. Once your triggers and conditions align, actions kind of bring your automation to life. So it's where you decide what this automation should do. So you can perform multiple actions. So you can update fields against the unit offer, unit enrollment, or a course enrollment, or even auto-enroll learners into additional units within the same course offer. So in this example, I've set it to update the course enrollment once all conditions are satisfied, but you can use these to, enroll learners into a reset unit. If the learner has failed a unit, you can have unit offers ready in there and allow the automation to enroll the learner into a reset unit once they've failed a unit. You can also add action group conditions for greater precision. For instance, instead of triggering as soon as one unit is completed, you can instruct the system to check that all unit enrollment outcomes are finalized before it goes and updates the course enrollment status. Finally, you choose the action type. Now, at the moment, automation supports field updates and assessment data submission requests to LLM Robot and Kahoot. If you're trialing automation, you can also use it alongside Learn Cycles to combine the best of both tools. To complete the setup, you can simply configure the update fields action to mark the course enrollment status as completed. So in a sense, you pretty much define your trigger entity, trigger type, conditions, and actions, and the automation takes care of the rest. And you can set up automation on custom field updates as well. And if you didn't already know, custom fields has been a feature in the system, and you can use to create custom data fields to capture relevant information for your organization. All the SDR and NZQA fields and other data fields required for your everyday operations are already available in Wisenet. However, if you require any particular information to be captured, then you can create additional fields as required. Again, please note this is a premium edition only feature. You can add these additional fields to application forms to automatically collect data from online enrollments via a Sales Plus application. You can also add conditional formatting to your form fields to help capture the correct data from your learners. Another significant update we made is to our e-learning integration. Automation is most powerful when your systems work together, and that's exactly what we have achieved with Wisenet's e-learning integration. So the moment a learner is ready to be given access to the course resources and assessments, or when the learner completes a unit or receives a grade in your LMS, the data flows straight into Wisenet, updating enrollments, outcomes, and even triggering the next step in the learner journey. So there's no duplicate entry, no delays, no inconsistencies. And now even training organizations without an e-learning platform can take advantage of the autograde feature using the same rule-based automation directly inside of Wisenet. So this is what a truly connected ecosystem looks like. So it's fast, it's accurate, and it's learner-centric. Now I'll take you through a few of the key features. You can enable automatic linking to seamlessly connect your e-learning courses with course offers or unit offers. Additionally, by turning on automatic enrollment, learners can be instantly enrolled and granted access to their courses based on your configured e-learning enrollment rules. Now, these rules can be configured based on course or unit enrollment statuses and outcomes, ensuring the access is granted only once the learner has commenced. And if a learner withdraws or cancels at any stage of their journey, their access can be automatically disabled as well. You can view real-time grade updates directly from the AutoGrade dashlet on your dashboard, which links to the AutoGrade activities page in reports. If any grades are skipped during processing, they'll appear under the To Review section for your confirmation and acknowledgement. You can configure autograde rules to align with your organization's processes. For example, you may choose to grade only learners with a current unit enrollment status, or enable options to grade failed results and override existing failed grades. Now, this two-way communication, sending learner and enrollment information to e-learning and receiving grade information back into Wisenet LRM, delivers a significant efficiency advantage. So it not only reduces manual data entry, but it also ensures data consistency across systems. So it minimizes human error, and it kind of accelerates your reporting accuracy. Now, real-time updates means staff spend less time reconciling results and more time focusing on learner engagement and support. Now, many customers have asked whether autograde rules can be applied to manually updated grades, specifically whether updating the final grade could automatically adjust related fields such as outcomes, dates, and grade points based on the organization's marking scheme. And in response, we extended the autograde functionality to support manual grade updates, ensuring, again, consistency and efficiency across all your grading processes. You can create autograde rules assign them to unit offers, and use the set final grade with auto grade option on the unit enrollments. You can use this feature for multiple pages, so the unit enrollment feature list page, the course offer unit enrollment page, as well as the individual learners unit enrollment page. You can add your final grade in the unit enrollment final column, and it'll automatically update the other fields as per your rules. And I'd also like to talk about a few other features, that work well with e-learning integration and grades. The first one being the unit enrollment status. It plays a critical role across multiple areas. It can be leveraged in automations, learn cycles, e-learning enrollment rules like auto grades, qualification completions, and more. The grade point field will be used to kind of record grade points at the unit level, enabling the calculation of an overall GPA at the qualification level, particularly valuable for TEOs that run like, multi-year or bachelor and master's programs. And if you offer, as I said, multi-year qualifications with or without the majors, this feature will be particularly valuable. Now, qualifications is currently available as an early access feature that can be enabled for your accounts. It allows you to create rule sets that automatically audit whether learners have met all course requirements and determine the appropriate major to be awarded. If you enroll learners into multiple course offers per year and want to generate one qualification or transcript at the end, this feature will work great for you guys. All right, next let's talk about another part of the learner experience, payments. So Wisenet Finance provides an integrated solution specifically designed to manage the accounts receivable life cycle. You can send quotes directly to your sales contacts, your learners, or workplaces and allow them to accept or decline online. And Wisenet Finance also provides a more efficient way to manage debtor accounts, ensuring timely follow-ups and accurate records. Additionally, you can add funding records to accommodate students who are not fully fee paying, making it easier to track and manage all payment sources in one place. The account items provides a complete view of all finance items associated with a learner, including their linked enrollments and invoices. Now, account items are automatically added to a learner's account, whether they enroll in a course or a unit offer that has a default fee schedule set up. And over time, all account items in the account should either be invoiced or removed anyway. So the invoices can be generated manually or automatically, giving you full control over the billing process while ensuring accuracy and consistency. You can see the entire list of invoices, payments, any credit notes, refunds, and of course, any write-offs from the learner finance page. It also has any quotes you may have generated or discounts given to the learner. Learners can view and pay invoices online and download PDF copies for their records, and they can also view these invoices and other further information about their finances from within the Learner app. And if you didn't know already, fee schedules in Wisenet allow you to create multiple finance item groups for courses or units tailored to different learner types, such as domestic, international, or partially funded learners. They can be assigned by default to ensure fees are automatically applied during enrollment or added manually if needed at a later stage. Funding records allow you to differentiate between items that are externally funded and those invoiced directly to learners or their workplaces. And funding records integrate seamlessly with fee schedules. So whether each schedule can be set by default as either externally funded or invoiced, And funding records are excluded from journal reporting exports as they are primarily used for reconciliation rather than formal financial reporting. And you can add, edit, and allocate funding methods to ensure accurate tracking and application of all funding sources across learners and enrollments. And talking about funding, we launched our work-based reporting this year, a major step forward in managing and reporting work-based learning within Wisenet. And as you already know, all TEOs that receive TEC funding for work-based learning must submit work-based delivery data. And obviously that includes data about the learner, their training agreement, their training plan if they are an apprentice, the programs they're enrolled in, and the status of their training. And this also includes data for learners completing off-the-job training as part of an otherwise, work-based program of study. So you can capture all this, essential information such as start and end dates, sign dates, and status to maintain clear records of each training agreement. You can easily add and manage site visits within training agreements. You can schedule events and track their attendance as well. You can submit the data to DXP with just one click, as well as stay informed with event alerts triggered when errors are raised from DXP after syncing the WBR data. Now, this ensures faster issue resolution and reduces the risk of any failed submissions as well. All right, that brings us to another key update to fees-free reporting. As you already know, fees-free for the first year of study ended last year, and from Jan 2025, 1st of Jan 2025, the program shifted to a fees-free for the final year model. So this means like learners now receive support after completing their qualification or program rather than upfront. And to reduce manual work and create a more sustainable long-term reporting process, we've introduced a new section to record learner fees. So the old fees-free field in the learner profile have been made obsolete and are no longer used for SDR reporting purposes. And to ensure continuity and avoid data loss, your existing values from the old total fee field have been automatically copied into the new learner fees page, and you'll be able to view and manage this data in the new structure without needing to re-enter it. It's a fairly new page, which was released only this week, so take a look at it. You can navigate to this page by going to Learners, select the appropriate learner profile, and on the left navigation, you'll see a tab called Learner Fees. We've also updated the SDR exports to report the total fee for domestic student from the learner fees moving forward. And of course, all this information has been updated on our Learn resources, which you can access at any point in time. All right, now that we have covered learner finance from fee schedules and fundings to fees-free updates, the next step is kind of making sense of all this data. So Wisenet's reporting and analytic tools provide centralized dashboards, live metrics, custom reports, and integrated data sources, giving you a complete real-time view of learner activity as well as the financial performance. Wisenet dashboards have evolved to give you a centralized view of key metrics in real time, stay on top of event alerts, new opportunities, incoming applications, auto grade updates, and other critical notifications. So you always know what requires your attention and you can act proactively. Filtered lists allow you to drill down into specific learners, enrollments, or unit enrollments. You can monitor performance, you can identify trends, and segment data in real time to make informed decisions quickly and efficiently. And all these filtered lists can be saved as well, which can be used at a later point in time. You can also export this data and pick the relevant fields to export at any point. Your journal reporting, there's also like journal reporting within the finances, which kind of integrates finance and learner data for accurate accounting and reconciliation. Now, as you can see, Wisenet offers kind of multiple ways to interact with your data through reports, filtered lists, and dashboards. Now, while these features continue to evolve, many customers want more customized insights and the ability to combine Wisenet data with other sources. So the BI connector makes this easy and secure. It provides continuously updated data via queryable data models, allowing you to use tools like Power BI or Looker to build interactive dashboards, charts, and reports as required. Now, continuing on the topic of reporting, I'll now hand over to Michelle, who will guide you through all the critical end-of-year reporting steps from key dates, to data checks and compliance updates. Over to you, Michelle. Thank you.
Thanks, Ash. It's great to see the new features we've released this year. Thank you for that. And these features will assist our providers to meet their compliance requirements and better support their learners, especially with our cases feature, which is particularly aligned to the MOE's Pastoral Care Code of Practice. 2025 has been a big year with the transition of SDR from STIO to DXP Nakedi in February and the ongoing updates of the SDR files with the additions and removals of fields with each submission. Thanks for your support as we navigated these changes together. Now, here's what you need to know about submitting your December 2025 single data return, SDR return. The rounds begins on Thursday, the 1st of January and finishes at 5 p.m. on Saturday, the 31st of January. You're able to submit your return at any time on or between these dates. But please remember that also Wisenet won't be around at some of the holiday period as well. We're closed from 7 p.m. New Zealand time on Friday the 19th of December until Monday the 5th of January. So please get any support tickets in early so that we can help you. And also refer to the TEC webpage on completing your December 2025 SDR return. Now we recommend running trial exports now throughout December to get your submission in, so you can identify any outcomes and actual end dates that need to be updated, rectify any issues. Please refer to our Learn page on the New Zealand Data Integrity reports to help you simplify your 2025 end of year reporting. We also have specific SDR data integrity reports to help you identify any missing or incorrect data before you upload to DXP Nakedi. Due to the changes in the SDR file formats through the year with the DSR refresh, we've also built a new suite of reports for the current SDR export format. We're doing final testing on these and data checks, but they're live in your database in the Wisenet report wizard now. So please feel free to also test and let us know if you identify any discrepancies so we can review and correct those. And please also refer to our Learn pages, which help you identify which fields the data is in the SDR export is mapped to, so the SDR file guidelines, the SDR export and reporting pages, and also the New Zealand field guidelines. Please also refer to our Learn pages to help you review your EFS reporting and the EFS breakdown per learner. It's part of the course enrolment file, along with the Wisenet SDR file guidelines Learn page. You can also refer to the TEC's data specifications for SDR as well. In summary, remember, if you need any help with your December SDR, please reach out to the customer success team by logging a support ticket before we close for the break Friday next week, 19th of December. Thanks for your support and wishing you all the best for your SDR export in December. Back to you, Ash.
Sorry, I had muted myself. Thank you, Michelle. All right. I just want to conclude by saying, everything you've seen today from automation, e-learning integration, finance, reporting support cases, and all the new, updates, it's all part of your Wisenet. It's already available, ready to be used, and hope you have, a good time using these features. And if you have feedback, we're always here to listen and improve. So please feel free to log a ticket or give us a call to talk to us about any of these features. We hope you found this session valuable and informative. But before I let you go, you may have received an email from our marketing manager regarding the Sales Plus, campaign that we're running to grow your enrollments for 2026, automate your administrative load, and keep learner data secure. So the onboarding costs have been waived this December. You can speak with Nalina. She's also part of the webinar today. So she's here. So she's our customer success partner. You can learn more about this offer or explore any other features, you would like to revisit. You can treat it as a discovery session to ensure, you're getting the most value from your Wisenet subscription and maximizing your return on investment. So just scan the QR code so you can book a time with her. All right, as Michelle mentioned, we are closed from 20th of December until the 5th of Jan. If you require any assistance, kindly place your tickets by 12 o'clock on the 19th December so we have enough time to get back to you and help you with your exports or any other queries that you may have. All right, that brings us to the end of the webinar. On behalf of the entire Wisenet team, I want to sincerely thank you for being part of our journey. And 2025, as you can see, has been a year of growth, learning, and innovation. And none of it would be possible without your trust and partnership. And as we look ahead to 2026, we are excited to continue this journey with you, delivering features, insights, and support that help you focus on what matters the most. And may it be a year of growth again, achievement, and inspired success. We wish you all your loved ones a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you once again for joining our webinar today. We'll always stay back just to answer any questions that you may have. But yeah, feel free to either raise your hand so you can talk to us or type in your questions in the Q&A. Thank you so much for your time. And here's the entire Wiser team wishing you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, guys. All right, here's the QR code to book a time with Nalina again. But yeah, open to answer any other questions that you may have. Thank you. Looks like no further questions.
Thanks everyone for coming to our end of year webinar. And yes, we will see you in the new year. Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thanks, everyone.